Guys, there's going to be two ways I show you how to do this. One is by hand, one's by calculator. So you will need a calculator. All right. And it's up to you which way you choose to do it. Okay, guys, there will be very few notes for this. Um, all right, first thing, if your inequality is not equal to, so it's greater than or less than. Notice it does not have the equal mark underneath the greater than or less than. Your parabola will have a dotted, will be made of a dotted line. Okay, it'll be called your boundary line. It's gonna be dotted. And guys, more than likely, if this would be on a NCFE, they would probably have two answers that look right, but the only thing different would be the dotted line. Okay, if it's not equal to, then it's a dotted line. If it's greater than equal to or less than equal to, it is a solid line. Okay. Gina, just grab you a sheet when you go by. All right. All right. Now, we just got started. Um, Probably not gonna mark tardies today because the times are so messed up. Okay. Now, so let's look at number one. Okay. So we have y greater than equal to negative x squared minus 8x minus 12. Okay. Now, first thing we need to do is we need to graph this thing to see where our boundary line is going to be. Okay. So I'm going to graph this. All right. Now, guys, you're not going to put the inequality in. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. All we need is the boundary line. Okay. So now, y equals. All right. So that's negative x squared minus 8x minus 12. You're going to graph it. Now, guys, if yours don't look like mine, guys, let everybody do this. Once you put it in there and graph it, if you hit Zoom 6, that way all of our screens look the same. Yes. The hold on a minute, I'll show you. Negative x squared minus 8x minus 12. The y is already there. You don't put the inequality in. I'll show you how to do that later. You don't have to. I'll clear mine out. That was when we were on the applications test y'all just did. That's how you find your x-intercepts when you put the 0 in. On the calculator, that is. Okay, now, so if I graph it, all right, first thing, guys, let's find the vertex. It's better to graph around your vertex. Second trace, maximum, left bound. I might have to bring my marker. Guys, most time by default, the marker starts with the y-intercept. So my y-intercept's over here, so you'll have to bring it to the left. Okay? You're going to press enter, right bound. That just means show me the right side. Press enter, and you let it guess by pressing enter. So my vertex is negative 4, 4. I should have made it 1, 2. It looks funny. Let me look at it, Bridge. It might be. Oh, it's just the calculator has a little bit of error in it, so it'll have just round it to negative 4. Yeah. That's actually error in the calculator. All right. Yes, all right, now, so guys, to get the rest of our points, let's go to our graph, and we're going to find our vertex. Okay. Remember, guys, if you need a certain x value, all you got to do is hit second table set. If you type the x value in, now remember, my vertex was -4, +4. If you'll type that -4 in, it'll bring you directly to it. So -4, and then go back to your table to bring you directly to -4. Okay. Now, so there's my vertex, guys. You can tell it's the vertex in the table because the numbers repeat. It's -503, vertex 30, -5. Notice that the y values they repeat. It's a pattern. Okay. Now, so what we're going to do, we're going to graph around it. So -5, 3, -3, -2, 0, and -6, 0. That should be enough points there. I'll show you where the inequality part comes in a minute. Anytime you see this word inequalities, you know you're going to be doing some type of shading of some sort. Yeah, shading. I'll show you in a minute. All right, so now before you make your parabola, look here, guys. Now look, this thing is a greater than equal to. So that's this guy right here. So you know that your parabola is going to be solid. So just make it solid. The only reason it makes it solid because it's equal to. That means it is included in your set. That's what it means. Okay, now let me show you how to know. Let me show you about the shading part. Okay, now, guys, what you're going to do. So I'm going to put the shade over here. What you're going to do, you're going to choose what they call the first step is you're going to choose a test point. And guys, a test point is going to be a coordinate point, an XY coordinate point. Okay. Now, to help you, if you can use 0, 0, it makes it easier. If there's any way you can use 0, 0, probably Jacob remembers this. Now, if you can use 0, 0, it makes it easier. Okay. Now, guys, 0, 0 is here. Now, guys, let me explain to you. You've got an inside region, which means it's inside the mouth of your parabola. Does everybody understand what the inside is? The mouth of the parabola is eating the inside. The outside is the part that the parabola is not eating. It's outside the parabola. So all of this over here is outside. Okay? So you got two different parts. Inside is the parabola is eating. The outside is not being eaten by the parabola. Okay, now, so what I do, I'm going to choose 0, 0. Now, guys, make sure you guys understand what I'm doing here. Is 0, 0 on the inside or the outside? It's on the outside because it's on the outside of the parabola. So what we're going to do, take your original equation, and everywhere you see an x and a y, you're going to plug in 0. Because remember, that's the point we chose. That's our test point. So y is 0, because the y is 0 here, okay? Greater than equal to -0 squared minus 8 times 0 minus 12. Okay? Now, the reason why we like using 0, 0 is because what's going to happen to these two terms here? They're going to cancel, right? So what I'm left with is a 0 greater than or equal to negative 12. Now, guys, think about this. Is 0 bigger than negative 12? It is. This is true. So, guys, what you do, you always shade the region that makes it true, either the outside or the inside. Well, just so you understand this, 0, 0 is on the outside, and it did make it true. So that means you will shade the outside. So you shade outside of the parabola. This is a fairly easy concept. The only thing that usually gets people is how to read inequalities. A lot of people still don't really understand how to read inequalities. So if you're that type of person, then you're not by yourself. Because a lot of people don't know how to do it. And guys, this does not have a single answer. It's got a region of answers. Any number. Yep. Just say like that's a good question, Rich. So let me erase this right here. So say you just for some reason want to do negative 4, 2. Okay, that's that guy right there, right? So that's negative 4, 2. You just chose that point out of random. All right, now you'll see here. This will be a false statement. All right, so now we're going to take y greater than or equal to negative x squared minus 8x minus 12, which is our original. Now, our y is 2, okay? I'm showing her what would happen if you chose a different point. I chose one inside this time, okay? That's a negative 4, yeah. All right, minus 8 times negative 4 minus 12. Now, if I put that in my calculator, all right, I'm going to put this in my calculator. So I got negative parentheses, negative 4 squared minus 8 times negative 4 minus 12. All right, so I took my negative 4, put it everywhere there's an x in my problem, okay? That gives me 4. Now, so what I have is 2 greater than or equal to 4. Is this true or false? That's false, right? If you notice, guys, the reason why the inside is not shaded, because if I choose any point inside the mouth of this parabola, it will be false. You will never shade a false region. Never shade a false region. Yes. That's all you do. Yep. It don't matter what you choose, it'll make it true. Yep. All right. Number 3. All right. So number 3. All right. So that's y values greater than or equal to okay. Now the first thing we need to do is we need to get the first thing you need to do is graph your boundary line. And guys, your boundary line is just your your function. Okay. All right. Now, so we're going to graph it first. So we're going to put it in the calculator. Guys, I hear a lot of chatter. Please don't do that. Okay, so negative 2x squared plus 16x minus 34. If I graph that, all right, now, the best thing to do, guys, to graph this thing is find your vertex and graph around it. Okay? So now we're going to go find our vertex, second trace. It's going to be a maximum. Now, guys, remember, by default, usually your marker will start on the y-intercept. So just think about which way you need to move it to get where you need to be. All right, it's on the left side, so I'm going to press enter. Then it wants me to go to the right side. I'm going to go over here and press enter. And then I'm going to let it guess by pressing enter. All right, now, mine is 3.99. Guys, just round that to the nearest number. That is 4, negative 2. So my vertex is 4, negative 2. Okay? Now, is my boundary line going to be solid or dotted? Per number, it's going to be solid, right? Because it's equal to. It's got an equal to sign underneath it. So it is going to be solid. Okay, now, go to our table and go find 4. All right. So you can tell, guys, that's by looking at the table, you can tell that's the vertex because the way the y values repeat. Okay. Now, when x is 3, y is negative 4. When x is 5, it's negative 4. And when 6 is negative 10. Hold on, I'll show you. From the graphing screen, like when it looks like this. Okay, so second trace. Now we know that's going to open. It opens down, so it's going to have a maximum value. Yeah, maximum. And usually by default, if you haven't moved it, it will start at your y-intercept, and it'll say left bound. You just put it on the left side. Look, what's your y value? Look at what's the y equal to right now? All right, keep going. Hit the right arrow key. Yeah. Until it gets above negative 10, you won't be able to see it. Once that y value is above negative 10, you can see it. For left bound, yep. And then go across to the right and do the same thing. And then let it guess by pressing it. Right, that's what I got. Yes, ma'am. All right, and then what we did, guys, to get our other points, we went to the table, found our vertex, and graphed about 5 points around. Including the vertex, usually you can graph 5 points. That's we're including the vertex. Okay. Now, guys, knowing that our inequality is greater than equal to, it is going to be a solid boundary line or solid parabola. All right. There you go. All right. Now, looking at now, guys, which point should we choose to make it easier on ourselves? 0, 0. So here's 0, 0. Is it on the outside or the inside? Outside. So let's see what we get when we plug it in. All right. So now we got 0 greater than equal to negative 2 times 0 squared plus 16 times 0 minus 34. Okay. Okay. Now, if I automatically, guys, my first 2 terms are going to cancel out because it becomes 0. Okay. Does everybody understand why this cancels out? 16 times 0, 0, negative 2 times 0, 0. All right, so now that is 0 greater than equal to negative 34. Now, guys, negative 34, that's a really small number. 0 is larger or greater than negative 34. So that being said, I'm going to shade the region my test point is in. So, guys, remember, this is called a test. This is called a test point. So if it's true, which this is true, you're going to shade the region your test point's in. So that will be the whole outside. That would be your answer. It's the shading is your answer. Yes. Anytime you see the word inequality, that's automatic. That's an automatic giveaway. You're gonna have a region of answers. You're not gonna have a single finite answer. All right, so guys, why don't we do this? Why don't y'all try number 4? So, and then we'll compare answers. That means it'll look like this when you graph it. Yeah, yeah. You could do you could divide it and put it in parentheses, or you could do alpha y equals and hit n slash d. You can do that way. These newer operating systems got um, okay. So guys, let's go ahead and come back together now. So the first thing we need to do, guys, is get our boundary lines, graph it, which graphing your function, same thing. All right, now. So it's 2x squared minus 12x plus 16. All right. Hey, let me talk, man. All right, now, graph it. All right, so we're actually going to have a minimum value this time since it opens up for a vertex. So left bound, enter, right bound, enter, guess, enter. Okay, so 3, -2. So that is our, it's 3, -2. 3, -2 is our vertex. Okay, now to get our other values, we're going to go to our graph, our table, find our, find our vertex. Our vertex is 3, -2. So we're going to graph 2, 0, 4, 0, 5, 6, and 1, 6. Okay. Now, this is going to be different than the last two. Why is that? It is dotted, right? So dotted looks something like this dotted line. That means what that means is, guys, mathematically, is the values that are lie on the line is not included in the solution set or the shader. Like in this case, the values on the line is included in your answer. But this one, the ones in the points that make the parabola are not included in your answer. Okay. Now, so if I choose 0, 0, okay, so 0, 0. So that's going to be y less than 2x squared minus 2x plus 16. That's going to be, so y is 0, so I'm plugging 0 here. I'm going to plug in 0 for x. The 0, always the two front ones always cancel out, guys. Now, that's going to give me 0 less than 16. Now, guys, is this true or false? This is true, right? So we're going to shade here on the outside. Now, guys, while we have it, while we have this example, I'm going to show you how to do it with the calculator. Okay. Now, guys, this is to me very easy. If you like the calculator, I'll show you how to do it. Now, so using this same example, okay. Now, on the calculator, there when I go, you'll understand this more in just a minute. On the calculator, when you'll see it in a minute. When the triangle's in the top right corner, that's greater than. and I'll show you how to get it there. If the triangle is in the bottom left corner, that's less than. And you'll understand here in a minute what that means. Now, remember, top right corner is greater than, bottom left corner is less than. So let me show you what that means. So what you do, you go all the way over here till you see that slanted line blinking up and down. Okay? All right, so you go all the way to the left until you see the slanted line blinking up and down. Now, what you're going to do, now since this is less than, you need that you need to hit enter until you have the triangle in the bottom left. All right, well, I hit it one time, all it does is bold the line. That's all it does. If I hit it again, what does that look like right there? This guy, right? That's greater than, right? All right, now that's the upper right corner. Now, if I hit enter again, where does it go? Bottom left corner less than. That's where it needs to be. Now, if I hit graph now, it'll graph where it's supposed to be. And guys, notice that. Yep. All right. The only thing the calculator will not do, it will not show if it's solid or dotted. But that's a very easy thing to do. All right. And guys, like I said, the only two symbols you'll use in the left in that on the left side of the equal sign is bottom left for less than, top right for greater than. That's the only two things you'll have to look for. Okay. Do y'all feel comfortable enough to work on this by yourself? Okay. I'm gonna let you work on it by yourself because I know you probably. I get tired of talking. I know y'all probably get tired of hearing me talk. So, which one? Like 6? That you have to know the difference. So it will not show a dotted boundary line. Is where it's all this does is tell you where it's shaded. And guys, remember to tell if it's solid or dotted. If it isn't equal to, it's dotted. If it's equal to, it's solid. That's the only way you will tell.